Racing League's PlayStation Performance League Canadian Grand Prix, brought to you in partnership with GridFinder.com. I am Tim, with my co-commentator, as always, Malc. We've had some technical difficulties, but we've already got the sprint race underway, which you can watch on the Invictus Racing League's YouTube channel. What you're about to see is the 35-lap feature race to decide the championship. A quick update, though. Keza won the sprint race, Russman in second. Ginger Tiger finishing in ninth in that sprint race after serving a 5-second time penalty means that his 11-point lead has shrunk down to just 4 points over Russman. Smoke had a DNF in the sprint race, so he is still on 244 points to Ginger Tiger's 260. It's been a long and tumultuous season, Malc, but it's all coming down to this.
It is. It's all coming down to this. So, whatever happens, this is going to be the most crucial point of it all. Tonight will be the final part in this race. And Stephen, thank you so much, mate. Good evening to you. He's saying that we will have a dry race for the finale at the feature. So I think it's kind of the way forward, but we'll find out if there's going to be any. Hopefully, it won't be lightning strike twice moments at the start. But from your perspective, Tim, who's your top 3 in this feature race?
Oh, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by its toe, and if he hollers, let him go. Malc, I just don't know.
I thought you were going to say Ginger Tiger then. And when you say Good Tiger, and then you thought, oh, here we go, he's going to say Ginger Tiger next as well.
Maybe I should have, but starting from P9, it just didn't look like he had that much pace in the sprint race. So we're just going to have to wait and see. But Russman, I feel like, is almost a shoe-in.
Yeah.
We're going to go with Sir Spud. Let's go with Sir Spud. And Speed Queen. Because Sir Spud and Speed Queen, they are in a constructor's battle. I see them sealing the deal and trying to maximize their points gained today. Of course, that constructor's battle that we mentioned, well, that's an interesting one now, isn't it, Malc?
It is, because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Tim, there's about 17, 20 points, the gap between 2nd and 7th place.
Yes, and it is Blue Flags 91 that Sir Spud and Speed Queen drive for. They have 342 points. Now, Neither Fast Nor Furious, Daryl Whiffen and Joe Hamster, they have 359. So that is, what is that, Malc? About a 17 or a 17-point gap between 2nd and 7th. So Nikita Mazepin Racing with ARL and Nitro Gash in 3rd. Aerodynamica, I'm sorry for butchering that name, with Michael Luke and Simon Palmer in 4th. The Smooth Operators with Sab and Melanade in 5th. And then Bouncy Porpoising Drivers with Maddie and Ginger Tiger in 6th. Now, we will explain these team names here very briefly. The Performance League, these drivers are allocated to cars based off of their performance, so they are not always in the same car as their teammate, but more on that in a little bit. The race is about to start for the final time this season. You hear those engines revving. You hear those itchy pedal feet. The drivers watching the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in the air. No red lights. We are green for the final time this season for the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League Canadian Grand Prix. Keza and Russman side by side into turn number 1. One wants a race win. The other wants a championship. Keza, the sprint race winner, clears him out of 2.
Yeah, it looks like, I don't know what happened. I think Stephen had to stop in front of the other drivers ahead, which fortunately Tiger did not realise there was a little bit of a break from Stephen. So I don't know if Tiger has a little bit of front wing damage, but he's trying to push on from the start. But he's in 8th place at the moment, Tim, and they're trying to do everything they can at the start, Tim.
Keeping a close eye on Russman, though, on this opening lap, seeing just how far away Keza pulls from him. Now, if you look at the tire choices, Russman, he went on the hard compound now. Keza's on the mediums, so Russman's actually losing some time to both Keza and Speed Queen, who is very close to Russman and about to overtake him, just maybe. So Russman really struggling to get the heat up on these hard tires in the opening laps, but could that potentially benefit him later on?
it will benefit him because he will get onto those fresh mediums at the first, well, say the second stint as we speak. But Speed Queen needs to have an opportunity to get ahead of Russman so she can challenge Keza for, and I think she has made the move. She's made the move into second place now, and we could be on for a classic. But yeah, much more better. Well, Smoke has finally moved up a couple of positions from 10 to 8. So Smoke is charging through the standings, Tim.
Yeah, and you just saw Ginger Tiger racing with Smoke and also O. Steven there in the Alfa Romeo. So Ginger Tiger in 7th, Smoke in 8th now with O. Steven side by side briefly there with Sir Spud. Now it's ARL and Sir Spud that are side by side. And oh, we got some contact as Sir Spud gets into the side of ARL. ARL off and into the grass, the former champion. Well, he said he had bad luck, and I guess it's continuing at least for now. At least we got plenty of racing left. Back to Ginger Tiger versus Smoke. Ginger Tiger still in 7th, no change there. Smoke just trying to make up everything that he lost in that unfortunate sprint race. Michael Luke doing much of the same there in P6, trailing at Daryl Whiffen in Nitro Gas.
So yeah, we're just waiting to see how everything plans. It looks like Daryl is getting close onto Nitro Gas for 4th place, and this could be a belter. This could be an absolute belter for this championship stake. Well, let's say championship stake, but it's the Canadian Grand Prix at stake, shall we say. So we've got a bit of a battle. It looks like Smoke and Ginger Tiger have a bit of a close battle, or might have been Spud at the back. Now Daryl's going to go side by side with Nitro. 2 in the bed moment. 2 in the bed. Come on! And Daryl's made the move. He's made the move into 4th place, Tim. Good move.
Oh, and he hit the wall just a little bit, but it was with the rear tire, so no damage that I can see on that front wing. Good for Daryl Whiffen, but really using every bit of the racetrack and then some that he's allowed to do.
Yeah, he's trying to use all that might to put the pressure on Russman, who's losing the path. And Daryl's got a 3-second time penalty now. Daryl's got a 3-second time penalty from multiple warnings. Michael could challenge Nitro for 5th place. The hard tyres, I'm surprised at well, I'd say surprised. Majority of them have gone for the hards because they know that the medium tyres are going to be fast at the end of this race because it's going to be dry. Now Michael's going to have to hold on. Michael, hold on. It looks like Ginger Tiger's going to have to try and make the move. He's trying to go from left to right, but he's not having any of it. And they come to the chicane part now, passing the World Champions, and looks smooth through there, Tim.
Michael still holds on to 6th, Ginger Tiger in 7th, Smoke back there in 8th. And we might really see this for the opening laps as the drivers just kind of biding their time. But with Ginger Tiger and Smoke, they really do not have a lot of leeway and a lot of time that they can really do that, because the longer that they stay back there, the further Keza and Speed Queen and Russman are getting ahead. Keza 2.5 seconds ahead of Speed Queen, Russman 2.2 seconds behind Speed Queen.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm just calculating the points as we speak. So Russman has got 20 points in this race. But don't forget, he's already got 7 points from that feature. So at the moment, he's got 27 overall. So, like I said, 4 points was the gap between himself and Ginger Tiger. Now, 20 points for Russman. Ginger Tiger, 14 points, 274 at the moment. Ginger Tiger 274. Oh my god, this is going to be mad. 274 to 276. So Russman will be ahead by 2 points in the driver's standings, Tim.
Oh, Malc, all this math is giving me a headache. Let's just watch some racing. But no, seriously,
Sorry about that.
No. I'm joking with you, Malc. We actually, I thank you so much for doing that, because it really does put into perspective just what Russman and Ginger Tiger have to do today.
Absolutely, and my head's, well, both of our heads are going to be banging after this because we just don't know what's going to happen. And looks like the battle between Michael and Nitro are having a good battle, actually. Michael on the medium tyre trying to put the pressure on Nitro for 5th. Looks like Smoke is putting the pressure on Ginger Tiger by 3/10, so this is where the DRS needs to be effect now. If Smoke gets ahead of Ginger Tiger, this is not good news for Ginger Tiger. Smoke needs to do something in this race, Tim.
on board with Smoke. Let's see what he can do now. Ginger Tiger is going to likely get the DRS off of Michael Luke. Very close there. Let's see what happens. If that rear wing opens, that's what Ginger Tiger really wants to see, and it did. He just barely got that DRS. So we're stuck in a DRS train. Smoke trying to give chase to his championship competitor. Can't really make a lot of gains, but both of these drivers on the hard compound tires, they're on the same pit strategy. Look behind him, though. Sir Spud electing to go on the softs, but not really working for him. He's not going forward.
Well, to be fair, I did say the softs do not last long, Tim. They only last probably about 10 laps at least, or at most, sorry, I did say earlier on at most. But that is not the start that you need from Sir Spud for that soft tyre. So, yeah, so that's not good news for him. Hopefully that he'll need a safety car as quickly as possible. But we're having a steady moment now. Michael's trying to put the pressure on. Can't do anything about it. The break between Ginger Tiger and Michael, there'll be no DRS. There'll be no DRS for Ginger Tiger on the second part, which is the long straight passing the casino part as well. So this is mad. This is going to be absolutely mad scenes, Tim.
And this is the best thing that could have happened for Smoke, is Ginger Tiger being a sitting duck here. Now let's see if Smoke can take advantage of this opportunity and get by Ginger Tiger. We might see that propel Smoke a little bit closer to Michael and use him as the DRS later on, but Smoke being as far back as he was off that straightaway, not really much of a chance for an overtake there, and you see it is the same as they come out of the chicane. But Smoke did improve his, well, not position, but he got a little closer to Ginger Tiger. 0.2 of a second now separating those two drivers into turn number one. You're watching the battle between Nitro Gash and Michael Luke on your screen at the moment. And Ginger Tiger, did he spin? Yes, he just did. He spun into the grass. My goodness, so Smoke gets it to P7, but what happened there, Malc?
So I watched it from Smoke's point of view. Smoke did not touch, and I repeat, Smoke did not touch Ginger Tiger. Ginger Tiger lost the back end at turn 2, so that is Ginger Tiger's mistake at that corner. So that is not, and I repeat, that is not good news for Ginger Tiger. Russman will be a breathe a sigh of relief at this stage, Tim.
Yeah, and, you know, I'd say Ginger Tiger, as livid as he's got to be, probably is breathing a sigh of relief as well, because that keeps his championship hopes alive in the sense that it could have ended his race. Now, the way we award points in the Performance League here at Invictus is a little bit different than how they do it in the real-life F1. As long as you finish the race, you will score points. It doesn't matter if you finish in 1st or 5th or 20th, as long as you finish. So, obviously, if Ginger Tiger's car suffered irreparable damage, that would not be the case. So he's still out there, he's still on track, he has still got a chance as you watch Russman heavily defending against Daryl Whiffen, trying to stay in the P3.
Well, not just Daryl, Sid, you got Nitro, you got Michael. Russman is really struggling to hold on to that 3rd place, because like I said, Daryl, Nitro and Michael, they will be on for that 3rd position. As we speak, they're trying to push on and put the pressure on. I mean, if them three could get ahead of Russman, this might help Ginger Tiger. This might help him as much as possible. And I think Ginger Tiger's just got ahead of Simon Palmer. So Ginger Tiger will be out in 11th place. So at the moment, Ginger Tiger 10 points. IRL's got a 3-second time penalty from multiple warnings. Russman will still have 20 points. But remember, he already had that 7 points earlier on, so still, Russman, 276, Ginger Tiger, 270, Smoke, 258 for Smoke, Tim.
So championship battle really coming into perspective there. Russman, I am surprised, though, at the seeming lack of pace that he has around Canada. Of course, I'm not sure his history with this track. All the same, you expect Russman, of all drivers, to be quick when it matters in the last race. And he is in 3rd, but we have seen Keza and Speed Queen just leave him in the dust, and he has got a train of cars forming behind him. It really kind of scares me and wonders if Daryl or Nitro were able to get by him, would he just continue to drop back further?
The reason being, Tim, is he's got no ERS. He's got no ERS. He's used all that ERS at the start, which has brought Daryl and the others into play. Daryl's got at least half of that ERS. Nitro, at least half. Michael about 20%, but Russman is at the limiter. He really is at the limiter. That's why Daryl could have a chance. You can see the lights. You can see the lights from the back of Russman's back car. Daryl could be on for third place position, and to the bed moment now. Come on! Oh, come on! Final race. Come on! We want a to the bed moment again. Come on, Daryl. You need this move. Just to give you a bit of a confidence boost. He can't make that move done. He's doing exactly, and I'll say it again, he's doing exactly what he did yesterday in the F3, where he could not get past O'Steven when he had higher wings. Hopefully he has learned his lesson from yesterday, but at the moment it doesn't look like he is, Tim.
Yeah, and Daryl Whiffen still putting an enormous amount of pressure on Russman. Russman holding his own, though, finding a slightly different line, actually, I noticed, around turns 1 and 2, mainly turn 2, than what Daryl Whiffen is. Russman going a little bit of a wider arc, trying to get a better run off the corner, and it did seem to work for him. But, like you said, with Russman running low on that ERS, as you see that red light blinking on the back of the Haas, there's only so much that he can do while Daryl Whiffen is in hot pursuit.
Absolutely, and Reeves has just pointed out something. Ginger Tiger has got back into the pits again, so he's dropped himself down to 12. I don't know what happened. I don't know whether he had a bit of a front wing damage or the wrong tyre or what. I don't know, but he's back onto the mediums again, and damage limitations already for Ginger Tiger. But anything could happen in these next few laps, because at the moment, Daryl, Nitro, and Michael, and looks like Smoke. You can see Smoke at the back, Tim.
So something going on with Smoke now. We'll take a look at him in P7. Michael Luke there right in front of him, though, and it's just an insane how big this train of cars has grown behind Russman, Malc. You know, and it's even more insane that Russman and Smoke, championship competitors, are also teammates. And they've already won a championship together. They have won the Constructors' Championship, but now they're focused on the drivers. Obviously, the favorite at the moment is looking to be Russman, but it's only lap 11 of 35. There's a lot that can happen. So all three drivers, all three competitors still fighting tooth and nail for any chance they can get.
Absolutely. And like I said, in an F1 race, we could have Ginger Tiger's really on fire now, because he's got a fastest up of the race, 114.576. And here we go, can Daryl finally make the move on to Russman? This is a good opportunity for him, and he has made the move. Finally make the move. It didn't take him this long this time, but now he will now pull away. And look at this, Nitro. Come on, to the bed. Come on! Yes! Brilliant move from Nitro. Brilliant stuff. Just at the nick of time, Tim.
So Russman down to P5 now. That is still very
God,
concerning. Not even sure how the points are stacking up at the moment. Maybe somebody can help us out with that, but I think Malc and I both, we've had our fair share of the calculations for today, but we might be the only people that you have to help you out with the calculations before we get official tables out. All the same, Russman in 5th. He's the leading championship competitor in the race, but not 100% sure on how the points are stacking up at the moment.
If you want, Tim, if you want to carry on, I'll try and calculate it as we speak.
Malc, what an absolute legend. So I think we need to give a round of applause for our official scorekeeper here of Malc, because he's really been working hard, just taking notes even before the race, trying to figure out different scenarios that drivers would need to win the championship, along with the Constructors, mind you. The Constructors is a whole nother battle, as we see Smoke going into P6 now around Michael Luke. So now he is right on the back of his teammate, just 1.1 seconds behind, and this is getting very interesting.
Right, Russman at the moment 16 points, but remember he had 7 points, so that's 23 points. 269, 272. Ginger Tiger will have at least 9 points, so 269. So at the moment, Russman 272, Ginger Tiger 269. As things stand, Smoke 15 points, 259. Tim.
So Russman, if it finishes as they run, will be your champion. Now, Malc, with Smoke being 10 points behind Ginger Tiger at the moment and about 14 points or so behind Rustman, what would need to happen for him to win this championship?
Who for Ginger Tiger, sorry?
For Smoke. What would need to happen for him to win this championship? Because he had a terrible sprint race.
Well, yeah, I mean, at the moment, Smoke needs to get a push on now and needs to get ahead of his teammate and probably get into like the top 2 at least. And Rustman to make a really mistake because at the moment I can't see anything other than a Rustman championship victory at this stage. I just can't see that. I really cannot see that, Tim.
Well, it's very possible as we look out the back of Rustman. You see the gap to his teammate Smoke back there, the defending champion trying to defend against Michael Luke. But you might be looking at your current champion when it's all said and done, Rustman. But we cannot count our chickens before they hatch. P5 for him at the moment. He does seem to be dropping back just a little bit, but he's doing exactly what he needs to do with a 3-point lead at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying our very hard. Well, we're trying our very hardest to give you all the latest updates for the drivers. The constructors will have to be done at the end of this race because I don't want to jinx it or anything. But at the minute, Michael, come on, Michael! If you want to make this move, you got to do it now with that fresh. Well, I say fresh. The worn medium tyres. Fair play to Spud, as Reed says. Spud is keeping up well with those really worn tyres. He has done well, actually, to be fair. And Michael's done well to make the move into 6th place. Or nearly hit the wall of champions, Tim.
So good job from Michael there, and he's got the DRS down the front straightaway too. Smoke trying to go back underneath him and get that position back. Cannot get the job done, so Michael holds on to P6 for now. Meanwhile, Rustman half a second behind Nitro Gash. Let's see what he's able to do. Maybe Rustman's been conserving these last few laps, but just as I say that, I still see that red light blinking.
Yeah, Rustman has got no ERS, Tim. He's not got any ERS. Michael's got about 10% of ERS. That's why Rustman is struggling. Michael can't catch up. That's why he needs to try and make that move. Smoke, at the moment, he's got 10% of that ERS. So these guys already used most of their ERS to push on massively. And this is where anything could happen. So Spud's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, which is not good news for him. Smoke could have a chance to make the move onto Michael, Tim.
So where Michael made the move on him, let's see if he can get him back. Smoke really the underdog in this championship fight today, and as Malc rightly said, it looks as though Rustman is the favorite, but Rustman's teammate trying to get by Rustman's competitor, not able to happen this time. So Michael's still P6, but 3 seconds behind Rustman, not really much of an issue for him at the moment.
Not at the moment, but the medium drivers will be pitted at some point. Possibly, I'll say that again, possibly in the next about 3 or 4 laps away. And I will not be surprised, Tim. I will not be surprised at this stage. But they might see a difference depending on if there's going to be a safety car at this stage. But I just can't see anything happening at the minute. I just can't see anything different from this stage. Because Smoke needs to have a lot of luck. Rustman needs to hold on where he is to hold that championship for the drivers. Ginger Tiger needs to catch up. He's hoping for a safety car. He's hoping for that. But he can't get that just yet. He's hoping for someone to make a mistake. And he can't do that just yet, Tim.
No, and it's really gotten strung out. So that minimizes the risk of a safety car, which would help Smoke, which would help Ginger Tiger, and incidentally not help Rustman, as Daryl Whiffen a 3-second time penalty now for multiple warnings. He's in 3rd at the moment, and if this race were to end right now, he would not keep that 3rd place, sadly. So Daryl Whiffen, that's not a time penalty that you can get rid of in the pits. He's going to have that hanging over his head for the rest of this race, but even still, it's been an impressive performance from the Mercedes driver today in P3. Of course, a driver we barely talked about, Keza, up there in 1st place, 4 seconds ahead of Speed Queen 80. So Keza doing a fantastic job in the Canadian Grand Prix today. Speed Queen 80, of course, in P2, just trying to get the most points that she can to finish off her season. Could finish it off with a podium Then Daryl Whiffen, as we said, a good run, but a time penalty hanging over his head. Nitro Gash in 4th with Russman in 5th, trailing very closely behind. And if the calculations are correct, your current points leader.
Absolutely, and Russman is slowly building up momentum to catch up to Nitro Gash to increase his lead on the driver standings. But again, if Nitro Gash can hold on, Nitro Gash needs to hold on. But it looks like Russman is still trying to save that ERS, which he is trying to do as much as possible. But to be fair though, Tim, that Haas car has been, from what I've been hearing, it's more of a balanced car in this performance league. It's been helpful. And our moment, Smoke is finally going back up to 6th place. And Michael trying to... No, Michael, no! Don't you dare make that move just yet. I thought he was going to make that move on the inside line. Nitro Gash has got 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. This track, Tim, this track is penalties galore. I said again, penalties galore.
Yeah, and that's what we've seen all day from these drivers. That's what you're seeing on the leaderboard over there as we give you an update on our time penalties. 9 seconds now for Daryl Whiffen. My goodness, Nitro Gash 3 seconds, Smoke 3 seconds, Michael 3 seconds, ARL 3 seconds, Sir Spud 6 seconds. Wow.
Yeah, that's my reaction as well. Wow. But yeah, fair play to the drivers who have not got a penalty just yet. Yellow flags at... I think that's O'Steven. O'Steven has lost it, but I think he's still racing. I think it's okay at the minute. So there was a sigh. There was a heartbeat stopped for a moment because we thought there was going to be a safety car moment. But luckily it's not happened. But the two drivers who are struggling with ERS at the minute, Smoke and Michael, they are trying to... to be fair though, Michael and Smoke, they're having a great battle for 6th place here.
Yeah, and they have actually gotten closer to Russman. It was 3 seconds a couple of laps ago. Now they're down to 2.3. So maybe this is a little bit of a strategy game on Smoke's part to try to use Michael as a bit of a tow when he's behind him, obviously, to use that DRS and get a little closer.
Absolutely. And two drivers are already going to the pits. ARL for his one and only pit stop on the hards. O'Steven going from the hards to the mediums. A little bit of an early stop for O'Steven. I think he's trying to do the undercut. Reid says Smoke could just pit earlier to stop wasting time battling Michael. That is very true. That is very, very true. Michael's been giving him a hard time. Yeah, I do agree, Reeds. I do agree. But also, fair racing at the same time. So, Reeds needs to get to the pits. But I meant to say Smoke needs to go into the pits. I'm sorry, Reeds. I thought he was still racing, to be fair. But yeah, Smoke needs to try and do probably an undercut or try and get rid of this battle between himself and Michael. And I think that's what he's doing at the minute. I think Smoke's going to the pits now to try and avoid this battle with Michael. Tim.
We do need to get Reeds in the pits, though. I just picture him as the little forklift in Cars, Luigi, who is like just the fastest pit mechanic ever. Pit stop.
It's a pit stop. It's a pit stop. Oh yeah, I remember it. Hey, Luigi itself. But
so
yeah,
Smoke on the medium tires now, and we'll see how that works for him, trying to go for the undercut. And Smoke, he's got nothing left to lose at this point, so he can only go up from here pretty much. Russman still holding strong in P5. Michael 2.3 seconds behind him, waiting on who the first driver on the medium tires will be to blink. Of course, Smoke, the first driver to pit, but he started on the hards, really using that undercut aggressively.
Yeah, he's going to have to use those mediums all the way to the end now. He's got no choice. So we just have to wait and see how everything plans out. But here we go again. I'm just watching Solid Palm actually, having a bit of a battle with Spud. Tiger in 11th. Okay, so Ginger Tiger's got 10 points. So at the moment, 270 for Ginger Tiger. Russman, 16 points. 59, 65, 271. 271. But again, we'll wait till everyone's going to the pits and then we'll decide what the points are. But Russman and Nitrogust have both gone into pits. Oh my God, Simon Palmer spun. Simon Palmer spun just before the DRS check, which is a bit unusual from there, but it's just gone off. And now Ginger Tiger has got himself into 10th place now, so that's
Smoke,
11 points.
Smoke
Sorry,
might have
Tim.
got ahead of Rustman. No, he didn't. Oh, it was so close. Smoke was ahead of him briefly because of the way that the pit exit is designed, but ultimately, Rustman was able to get out ahead of Smoke, but Smoke did cut that gap down. 1.6 seconds now.
Absolutely. But now, oh my God, if you carry on, Tim, I'll try and do the points as we speak now.
Well, Kez is still leading with Speed Queen in second, Daryl Whiffen in third. So the top three has pretty much stayed the same. Michael Nitro, your top five, but Rustman and Smoke and Ginger Tiger, those are the three drivers that we're watching for this championship battle. Rustman should be the points leader if they finish as they run, but it's very close between the three drivers. Entering the feature race, it was 4 points between Ginger Tiger and Rustman. That is following an abysmal sprint race for Smoke and Ginger Tiger, which saw Rustman finish in second. Now we got Keza going into the pits. Let's see what tire he goes on to. Well, actually, he's out of the pits, and he's on the hard compound tire. As now Rustman has got 3 seconds for multiple warnings. That is huge for this championship. Rustman and Smoke both with 3-second time penalties. Ginger Tiger, no penalties yet in this race, but he is far, far back in P10.
I am speechless. It's like anyone's race now. Anyone's race. This is mad. This is absolutely mad. So Ginger Tiger's still got 11 points as we speak from tonight. So that'll be 2-7-1. Rustman, 15 points. So 15 points, 259, 264, 271. So, yeah, both drivers have got 271, unless I'm mistaken, Tim. That is extraordinary moments, Tim.
Now, in the event of a tie, what is the tiebreaker amount?
If normally with a tiebreaker, they would check on how many wins it takes, how many wins they have won throughout the season. Now, that's the part which I forgot to do because I didn't expect it to be this close at this stage. But that will have to be checked by the point standings. But again, because of the sprint and feature all being joined together, it might have to be based on the positions from the first race and the second, from either the win or whoever got the first win of the season. So I'm speechless at the minute, Tim.
Well, the top three has finally changed, Malc. It's Daryl Whiffen, Keza, and Michael Loop, because Speed Queen has pitted for, look at that, soft compound tires. And Keza, of course, as you know, he had already pitted for the hard compounds. Daryl, Michael, they have yet to pit, but Speed Queen obviously thinking she can take those soft tires to the end, and it's Speed Queen, so of course she can, but how quick is she going to be?
Yellow flags, Tim. I think that's the spud. So spud has spud, and that might have brought Ginger Tiger into play. 272 to 271 as things stand. But two drivers have gone into the pits now, Tim. They will be on the they'll be on the softs. Keza's got the fastest of the race now, 1:14.413. So Simon Palmer got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. This is crazy. This is mad. Now Rustman with 2.7. No, I do apologise. 2.73 now. Oh my God, my head's spinning now, Tim.
273 to 272 in favor of Rustman as they run. Rustman in fourth, Ginger Tiger in ninth. That is your championship picture with just 12 laps remaining. Rustman 1.1 seconds behind Nitro Gas. Ginger Tiger 13.3 behind ARL, which is his closest competitor on track for position. However, Ginger Tiger does not have any time penalties, and take a look at all the time penalties he's got ahead. 6 seconds for ARL, 3 seconds for Michael and Smoke, 12 for Daryl Whiffen, 3 for Rustman, 3 for Nitro Gas. Ginger Tiger is going to have to get fast quick if he is going to benefit from those time penalties. All the same, if he keeps his race clean and he can find some speed, it's not over yet.
Well, if you can hold those medium tyres all the way to the end, I think that's his only way. Unless we got a safety car, which will explode in the finale of this race. If you like what we've seen so far, guys, please make sure you like, subscribe to Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel for all the live race itself. We are aiming for at least 10 likes tonight, guys. We're aiming for at least 10 likes. Will be a massive, and I say again, will be a massive help to myself, Malc, and Tim for the commentary, as well as the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel. Hit that like button. This is the final race, guys. Hit that like button, please. Thank you, Tim.
Russman 1.2 seconds back behind Nitro. Really not a lot of gains there. Speed Queen 5.4 behind Keza. Keza, the dominant driver in this race. He has led the majority of the lap, save for when he had to make his pit stop. So Keza, he's just got to keep it clean, and he's looking good so far. The sprint race winner is the leader at the moment, but we are still watching that championship battle with Russman being the leader at the moment as they run, if the calculations are correct, and I believe it's just by one single point, 273 to Ginger Tiger's 272. Now, to put it into perspective with just how crazy that is, before the sprint race today, Ginger Tiger had an 11-point lead over Russman. Before the feature, he had a 4-point lead. And now, with just 10 laps remaining in the feature, he has got a 1-point deficit to Russman.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But again, I think there'll be quite a few heated moments at the end of this race, whatever happens tonight. But as things stand at the minute, well, Darrell will drop down quite a bit actually, down to 8th place if it stays like, well, actually 7th, actually. So yeah, so probably about 7th place. But either way, Smoke will probably move up to 5th. Russman will hold on for 4th, but I do not know what to say. This is crazy race. But Ginger Tiger is still not giving up hope, because there may be a dramatic ending. Well, hopefully, anyway. And Keza's got his first. I was going to say, Keza's got his first 3-second time penalty with multiple warnings, Tim.
My goodness, so that brings his race a little bit into jeopardy here. Now, Speed Queen 85.6 seconds behind, and being on the soft compound tires, we expect those tires to fall off sooner rather than later. So, just maybe Keza can overcome that, but if he gets another time penalty, Speed Queen might have a win.
Well, it just depends. Depends if Speed Queen can catch up to these guys. And you never know what's going to happen, Tim. You never know what's going to happen. But I'm still speechless of that sprint race, because that was dramatic, and this is going to cost the points standings as we speak. And I just can't look away, because it looks like there's 5/10 of gap between Russman and Nitro. Russman would need that 3rd place finish just to help him out as much, Tim.
Now, let's go back a couple of seasons, Malc, when ARL won the championship. Do you remember what the points difference was? I know it's a long time, but I feel like it was single digits.
It was close, but it had to be a monumentous achievement from ARL to get that position. Yeah, it was quite a few points, but considering that Russman was 11, correct me if I'm wrong, 11 points, the gap between himself and Ginger Tiger at the start of this race. Sorry, at the start of this Canadian Grand Prix. Just absolutely insane, Tim. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, and you know, Malc, I asked that because we're looking at a championship battle today that could end with just a 1-point difference, or even in a tiebreaker, which would be the closest championship decided in the Invictus Racing League's Performance League. So we are watching Invictus Racing League history potentially unfold here today, right before our eyes, as Russman is trying to challenge Nitro Gas for that 3rd spot, trying to get on the podium, trying to get more points, trying to make sure that he has done everything that he can to win this championship.
He's trying everything. He's trying to make that move because he needs to do something. Because obviously, he's probably think 4th is enough, but Ginger Tiger's in 9th. But with a safety car, that's gonna explode, Tim. That is gonna explode if someone gets a safety car, and I will be in shock if that happens. That the table will definitely be turned. Will definitely be turned if the safety car will be kicked in. Ginger Tiger and Speakery are the only drivers left of no penalties at all, and this is dramatic. I'm sorry, guys, but I can't. I don't know what to say. This is going to be one of the best of 7 finishes we've ever had for a very long time, Tim.
And Russman could not agree more if he's the one being crowned champion at the end of this, but Daryl Whiffen on those soft tires is closing in on him quick as Nitro Gash is putting some distance between him and the Haas car. Daryl Whiffen close to having the DRS, but we got to remember Daryl has got a lot of time penalties, 12 seconds last time by our count, with Russman only having
Still
3
12.
seconds worth.
Still 12, Tim, still 12. Just to give you a bit of a recap, 12 seconds of Daryl, 9 seconds from Simon Palmer, 6 seconds from Spud and ARL, whereas the rest are all on 3 seconds worth of time penalties. And Michael's got himself into 6th place, 2 in the bend moment now! Smoke cannot defend against Michael, will have the fresh DRS. And I tell you what, oh my god, we could 5 laps to go, Tim. They need to get if they need the safety car, they need to do it now, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, it's really not looking like the safety car is going to happen. Of course, that would be a heartbreak for Russman and a glimmer of hope for Ginger Tiger and Smoke.
Glimmer of hope for Ginger, but for Smoke, I think that's because of that DNF on that sprint race, that's cost him the championship. That's cost him the championship. And it was not his fault. It was not his fault at the time. And it's so frustrating because it was a championship that you can't afford to make mistakes from other drivers, and that's what's cost him dearly today.
Yeah, and just to recap on that, he got caught up in a wreck at a restart when a competitor spun, and he just simply had nowhere to go.
So yeah, it's just and then Ginger missed out on the top 8 position based on from the crash at the start of the race. The feature race. The start of the sprint. I'm losing the plot because of all the calculations itself. But yeah, it's just been absolutely insane. And yeah, there might be a few heated moments at the end of this race, Tim.
Lap 31 of 35, and it's all winding down. Keza still your leader with 6.2 seconds to Speed Queen 80 back there with Nitro Gash in third. But will that be how they finish with Russman hot on his tail in hot pursuit, trying to get into the final podium spot to make sure that he is this championship winner at the end of these 35 laps? By our calculations, it is 273 points to Russman over Ginger Tiger's 272, a 1-point difference between the competitors. Russman, though, knowing that that is not safe and that he needs to fight tooth and nail to make sure that he does not lose one more spot and, if possible, gain another one. That time penalty hanging over his head, well, it's not really going to help him, but there's a lot of drivers with the same or more than him, especially Daryl Whiffen with 12 seconds, who is in jeopardy now of losing 5th place to Michael Luke, who has been on a bit of a tear here in the closing laps, just trying to make up some positions. He finally got by Smoke, seems to more or less have left him in the dust. Now working on Daryl Whiffen, could be those soft tires, finding a little bit of life and a little bit of happiness with Michael, but it's only a matter of time before they start to lose their own speed.
Absolutely, and just watching the battle, it commence at this stage because, like Michael, he wants to get this move done on track. To be fair, Michael, he wants to get that move done on track, but Daryl is trying to use all of his experience to put the pressure on away from Michael. But he will have the DRS. Michael's going to try and close the gap, but he can't do it. He's got no ERS left, Tim.
Well, he's going to have another opportunity with the DRS here in just a moment, but it's going to behoove Michael to stick as close to Daryl as possible. Now, like we said, Daryl with the 12-second time penalty, Michael is going to get this spot anyway, as long as he does not pick up more time penalties himself. But even still, if Michael can get by Daryl, he can start fighting Russman and potentially Nitro Gash. Michael is not completely out of the question for a podium here today. It's very late in this race as Daryl does dive down into the pits. All the same, Michael at least has a chance.
Absolutely. And Daryl's out in the pits. Sorry. I was getting eager then. I thought that was the World of Champions. Unless, let me just double check.
And
sorry.
Malc, what does that do for Ginger Tiger versus Russman?
So, oh my god, this is insane. 259, 266, 273. So at the moment, Russman 273, Ginger Tiger 13 points, 273 as well. So this is what's going to happen. Russman needs to make that move on Nitrogash just to get that point extra or get that fastest lap somehow. Otherwise, we'll have to have a look at the countbacks because that is going to be insane. He's 6/10. He's 6/10. But Michael could spoil the party as well. And this could be ironic actually from the real life F1. When they said, no, Michael, no!
And Russman, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That virtually takes him out of contention for this championship, but it's still not over. Ginger Tiger in 8th, Russman in 4th, but he is going to drop back. He did everything he needed to do, Malc. He was the virtual points leader for most of this race. And now, in the closing laps, it is gone. In the blink of an eye, seemingly no hope to gain him back. His only opportunity is for disaster to come Ginger Tiger's way.
I told you to watch out for the last few laps. Anything could happen. And at this moment in time, I will not calculate anymore until we see that final standings, Tim. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm not doing any more until we see the final standings because that penalties is really going to take into consideration for the top, well, at least the positions that we are seeing at the minute. We're on penultimate lap now. Keza coming on for the final part of his lap. He'll be on for the final lap of his lap. I can't say the words. Final lap of this race. And he has done now. So we're on the final lap of this race. And look at Michael. Michael wants to make this move done. And Russman. Oh my god. My head's all over the place. Ah! What's going on? Michael's trying to make that move on Russman. He wants to make that move done on track, Tim.
Russman had the DRS, and that was his saving grace there against Michael. Remember, Michael on soft compound tires, Russman on those mediums. But wait, what's happened to Michael? Where'd Michael go? What happened to him? Where's he went? He is spun.
Michael spun. Michael has spun. That is not good news. Oh my god, well, this is going to be insane. I'm not going to say any more. I'm going to wait till we see the penalties. Because I think that's what we're going to see. And Ginger Tiger's got a 3-second time penalty, Tim. He's got a 3-second time penalty. Where is Keza? I think Keza is just about to do his last few quarters now, Tim.
And Keza, well, we've been talking about him all season long, Malc. In the final race, he finally gets it done. Past the wall of champions, he's going to cross the line. He's going to win the Canadian Grand Prix. Speed Queen Amy there in second, but Nitro Gash and Russman, this could be the battle for the championship. Does Russman need to get by Nitro Gash? Is it going to matter? He's got 6 seconds worth of time penalties, but a lot of drivers have 3. Does he hold on to 4th place? Where does Ginger Tiger end up? Ginger Tiger, Steven is 2.5 seconds behind Ginger Tiger, but he has got a 3-second time penalty as well. Russman finishes in 4th on track, and he's going to hang on to it with Smoke finishing in 5th. So, if our calculations are correct, assuming Ginger Tiger gets into that 8th position, then they are tied in points, and we have to figure out which driver has more wins.
So we'll just clarify that. Ginger Tiger's just about... Well, actually, look at Steven. Is that Steven? Yeah, Steven's getting close to Ginger Tiger, but it won't be enough to close the gap. Oh my god, this is going to be insane. So Russman will have 25, 20, so 22, 2017. Just checking on the fastest lap. Fastest lap was gone to Simon Palmer, and is he crashed? He's crashed. Yeah, so we'll give you the standings in a moment, but we'll have to go back based on the countbacks at the moment. But I will double check on that for you guys, so bear with us a sec. We will try and figure out what's going on. But I believe they have both got the same points, Tim. But we'll get that clarification in a moment or two. So bear with us a sec while you do the classification.
So what very well may have been the closest championship battle in the Invictus Racing League's Performance League history has finally came to an end, waiting on final confirmation. But in the meantime, your officially unofficial feature race results for the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League Canadian Grand Prix is Keza in first with Speed Queen 80 in second, Nitro Gash in third, Rustman in fourth, Smoke in fifth, Michael Luke in sixth, ARL in seventh, eighth is Ginger Tiger, O. Steven in ninth, 10th is Sir Spud, Simon Palmer in 11th, 12th is Daryl Whiffen. We are currently awaiting confirmation on the points totals for Ginger Tiger and Rustman to see which of those two drivers will be crowned champion.
Yeah, we'll just try and figure out. I'm just trying to do the quick math just to make sure that we are going to be the same tally of points. But then we'll have to check on the countback of wins. The countback of wins as we speak. Rustman 17, Smoke 16, Michael 15. Sorry, but let's go. It's ARL 14. Tiger 13. Oh, yeah, 13. Oh, Stephen. Sorry about this.
Reen says, "Good luck with the calculations, Malc."
Yeah. I'm trying everything I can. But yeah, just bear with us a sec, guys. I just want to make sure we get this completely right because we don't want to force anything at all. So, oh my God, this is going to be insane. Stephen 12, Spud 11. We'll get the top three in, but then we might bring in Rustman and Smoke for the constructors. But we'll try and get the clarification of the drivers in a moment or two, guys. Simon Palmer 11. He had the fastest lap, and Daryl had 9 points. So 273, 24. Yeah, 259. 256, 266, 273. Yeah, so we have got two drivers on the same amount of points. 260 for Smoke, 242, 248 for Speed Queen, 217 for Melonade. Daryl, yeah, so we're going to have to look back at the countbacks. So, oh my God,
wow, this has
mad.
been just the seemingly chaotic conclusion to the championship because it was a crazy sprint race, and now we're not even sure who our champion is.
So, I'm just checking the chat just to make sure. I believe it is Ginger Tiger who has won, but pending Stuart findings, Ginger Tiger's won by as far as this is as far as Joe Hamster awares. Ginger Tiger has won by comeback, joined some points with him and Rustman. So that is what's happened. Yeah, so Rain says, thanks Malc and Tim for the Thursday night races. Awesome job by both of you. Good luck with the calculation of the title win. Yeah. Cheers, Reens. Cheers, Spud. ARL says, P7 overall was a good season. Lots of unlucky moments towards the end of the season, but didn't give up. Happy to be returned this season. Can't wait for next season. Cheers, Tim and Malc, for the great comes. No worries. But yeah, that I believe, Tim, we're going to have to bring Ginger Tiger in, as well as the constructors, as well as the top three coming in. So we're going to have a bit of a mare to get in.
Oh boy!
To go through.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be one question for everybody except for the race winner and championship winner, I suppose, because I know that there's a lot of people over there in the UK time zone that probably need to get to bed before too long. So I'm going to try to keep it as quick as possible for you all.
So let me if you just talk about your thoughts in more depth about the race and the title, how it all encountered as well, Tim. And while I'll try and get all the drivers in, if we can, for the standings as well. So Just bear with me a sec, guys. So, Tim, do you want to carry on?
Well, I know that we got Keza and Russman in here, so first and foremost, congratulations to Keza on the win today. We will wait and see if we can get the rest of the drivers in, but it was a chaotic sprint race, literally from the get-go, with what we're hearing of Sir Spud potentially spinning his tires or having an issue there, and that just collected a massive amount of cars, and it just seemed to be constant chaos from there on out. Then we had to do a complete restart of the lobby due to technical difficulties beyond our control, but we were still able to get the feature race finished and ran, and it was constant calculations from start to finish. We truly, truly did not know who won the championship until the checkered flag flies, and actually after the checkered flag flew. So, needless to say, Malc, this has been one of the most historic championship battles in the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League history.
I am speechless. That was unbelievable stuff. I will say this. Out of all the years commentating, that has got to be the most explosive, dramatic, and unbelievable moments, and I'm not doing any more permutations, calculations ever again on live screen ever again. I promise you that. But yeah, I will go through the constructors in a moment too, guys. We are trying to bring in the constructor winners as well as the drivers champion from what I've been told on the chat, as well as the top 3 winners as well. So hopefully we have everyone in. If not, we'll have to be where we can. But yeah, cheers for everyone that's in the chat, in the stream chat. I'm so sorry. Can't stop repeating myself because it's it's been a mad race. But yeah, I believe we've got about a few drivers in. Is that correct? We've got a few drivers in. Is that correct, Tim?
Do we have our champion in? That's what I want to know.
I don't know if Jin Tiger is going to be in. If not,
well, then I guess we'll start talking to our race winner and go from there.
Let's do that then.
All right.
Right. Before we do that, Tim, I know you're eager, before we do that, please make sure allow voice to be shared is set to always allow. If you're not sure how to do it, go to the party settings, and there's an option for allow voice to be shared. Make sure it's set to always allow. And please don't kick off at any point, wherever happened in the sprint or feature. Just be respectful. You are live and respectful. All right? Cheers back, guys. Everyone all set, ready to go? Everyone all set?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm all good. Yeah.
Cool. So, I'll pass you over to Tim for hopefully the top 3 drivers first, and then we're going to talk to the championship winners. Tim.
Eager to hear these drivers' thoughts indeed on what was a crazy race. First and foremost, congratulations, Keza. I know that you've been chasing that win for quite a while, but just tell us what it means to you to have finally got it done here at the Canadian Grand Prix, and did you think that it was going to happen today?
Well, I mean, long time coming after everything what's happened. I mean, it's just a shame it's happened at the last race, but you know, at least it's happened anyway. From P12, I think the sprint race went pretty well. I mean, I got me luck, which I haven't had this season. P12 to P1, I'm happy with. And then throughout the race, I think I just dominated. I think correct strategy, the right setup, and it was actually Simon's setup, which I was using. Now, you've been using his the whole season, but yeah, the setup was amazing. Tyres were amazing. Like, literally nothing wrong. I couldn't have put anything wrong today.
Once you took the lead in the sprint race, you pretty much just kept on sailing and didn't look back. And it was very much the same in the feature as well. But at what point, if any, were you kind of sweating the fact that Russman was behind you, knowing that he was going to do everything he could to fight to get this championship?
Yeah, I understood that the position he was in, but I didn't really feel threatened by Russman at any point. I know he's obviously a quick driver, very, very quick driver, but as soon as I took the lead, I think especially with me in the Alpine. I just shot off, and I think everything went exactly how I wanted to, and I just took opportunities when they came about.
Well, congratulations, Keza, on the win. Like you said, it's been a long time coming. Enjoy it.
Yes, thank you.
And now we will talk to our constructors winner of Rustman. And Rustman, I know that you wanted to have that double interview as the Drivers' Champion winner as well, but we'll have to settle for constructors. But first and foremost, tell us about the championship battle and what more could you have done today?
Well, first and foremost, congratulations to Ginger. I sent him a message at the start of last week just saying, irregardless of what happens today, you know, if you go on to win it, I would have lost to a worthy competitor, and I'll stand by that. There's no shame in coming second to Ginger. Obviously, it's such a cruel way for it to happen, sort of level pegging on points and going on count back. Obviously, from a personal perspective, I'm gutted. What more could I have done today? Not a lot, really. I mean, I was in a battle with Nitro. I was desperately trying to get that position. I was trying to work out what I needed to do and whether or not fourth was good enough, whether or not I needed to make the move because I didn't want to risk, anything. So I was quite happy sitting in fourth all the while it was doing the job for me. But then obviously I got the news that I needed to get the move done with a couple of laps to go, and obviously by that point it was too late. So yeah, gutted really. You know, Tim, I said to you last week I needed a bit of a miracle. Over the last couple of races, I've clawed back 18 points after the DNF in Abu Dhabi. So, you know, I'm quite proud to have taken it as deep as I have and to have clawed myself back into a position where, you know, it was still alive today. But yeah, to come so close is gutting.
And we can definitely hear the heartbreak in your voice, but for what it's worth, you and Smoke put on a fantastic drive this season to secure that constructor's title. So you at least have something to fall back on and something to take away from this season as a victory.
Yeah, absolutely.
But congratulations, Rustman, on the constructor's title in a hard-fought championship battle. Speed Queen 80 was second place. She was not able to join us as far as I'm aware, so we will move on to Nitro Gash in P3. Now, Nitro, we're sorry that we really didn't give you a lot of love until the end of the race, but, you know, you fighting Rustman there really gave us a lot to talk about. So what was your strategy and your thought process knowing that there was a championship competitor just behind you putting an enormous amount of pressure every way you looked?
I mean, for me, it was just really about the position. I wasn't really thinking about the championship. I mean, I wasn't doing any sort of sums in my head or anything. I was just racing for the podium. Really, I really wanted a podium. I had a good race last night, but I had too much wing on, so I took a load off tonight, and yeah, I was really quick down the straight. So it was a good battle with Rustman for a long time. Yeah, I'm kind of gutted for him that it's finished that way. I didn't really realise, honestly, I didn't realise that, you know, he needed to get past me or whatever. But yeah, I was just fighting for the podium, really, for the position. Trying to do as much as I can for me and IRL to see if we could get second in the constructors.
Well,
that will be announced in a minute. That will be announced very soon.
Wait,
Sorry,
did he jump the gun?
I'm not saying anything. I'll let you do the interviews, and I'll mention about the constructors in a minute. I had to do the calculation while you did the interviews, so go and carry on, Tim.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
so I mean,
sorry,
go on, Karen. Sorry, Tim. I was going to say the sprint was entertaining as well. I got a great start, and then I think Spud just lost the car, so that was an entertaining start to the evening. But yeah, no, like I say, I wasn't even aware of the championship connotations, really. I just wanted to race myself.
Well, all the same, congratulations on the third place finish in the race, and well, we might be telling you congratulations about something else here in just a minute. But Ginger Tiger,
cheers to you and Malc for the commentary for the year as well. As always,
no
brilliant.
worries, mate. No worries.
Yes.
And we do have our driver's champion in here, though. Ginger Tiger, we just noticed that he joined, so please make sure you've allowed your voice to be shared. If you don't know how to do that, go over to the party settings, click Always Allow. Let me know when you're ready because we want to hear your thoughts.
Oh, I'm ready.
All right, so Ginger Tiger, congratulations on a hard-fought championship win, literally scoring the same amount of points as your competitor and it having to go down to count back. What are your emotions after this?
To be honest, when I finished the race, I had no idea. I was just fuming with what had been going on in the sprint race, and I just managed to scrape 8th, I think it was, in the feature, and I thought Russman must have won it by 1 or 2 points. I wasn't sure. So yeah, when Smoke messaged me and he said, "You Pillock, you've won the championship." So I said, "Give me 2 minutes, I'll be on and have a chat." I have no idea. So yeah, I'm over the moon actually, to be honest now, considering what I've been through with the sprint race was terrible. I had no idea what was going on. It was like 10 pin bowling, and I was the pins. But yeah, and then I broke my front wing on turn 2 on the first lap. Tried to stay with it, it couldn't, and I went in the pits, and then it didn't change it, so I had to go back in again. And I thought that's why. Yeah, and I thought, well, it's all over. Everything was going wrong. I lost my force feedback on my steering wheel in the sprint after the incident. So it went horribly wrong. So in all honesty, I thought Russman had won it. But yeah, I'm over the moon. Apparently it's on count back. So congratulations to Russman. Smoke, I believe, is in 3rd. There was a comment I made on Tuesday in the F2. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. And Russman said, Smoke said, "You're now the bride, you Pillock."
and you know, I can hear both of those in his voice. So
yeah, no, absolutely,
yes, I did say them.
Absolutely, yes, he did. So yeah, I'm delighted. It's been a long season with so many highs and a lot of lows. Great racing, some questionable racing, but it was all fun. It's great, and I'm delighted to have my first championship in IRL.
Congratulations, Ginger Tiger. Now, Malc, I'm sorry I got to make you do a little bit more math here, but before we get to the rest of the constructor standings, is there anyone else that we have to interview? Because this is the most that we've had.
If ARL Nitro are here, which
we've talked to Nitro,
but they have finished 2nd place. So well done to them. They finished in 2nd behind Race Ventura Wind Detectors in the constructors. So they got 2nd place. 3rd place was, I believe, Blue Flags 91. So Blue Flags 91 finishes off in 3rd. In 4th place was Aero Dutch Namika, if that's how you pronounce it. In 5th place was, I believe, neither fast nor furious. And in 6th place was Ginger Tiger and Matty with Bounty proposing drivers. And in 7th place was, I believe, the Smooth Operators. So that was the constructors. So I'll just recap again. Nikita Maspin Racing got themselves 2nd place this evening. Well done to them as well for finishing that.
Wow. So
Tim?
I'm here. Don't worry, I'm here. But yes, that was a very impressive try from the constructor winners, but also the constructors' 2nd place, and even Blue Flags 91 coming from P7 to P3 there. We do got ARL in here, so he's a former champion and, well, right now the runner-up in the constructor standings along with his teammate of Nitric Ash. So ARL, just give us a quick take on how your season went, because it seems to have been a bit of an up-and-down ride for you.
Yeah, first off, hey lads, good to be back in the commentary box. It's been a while. Yeah, no, it's been an up and down season, but you know that's what makes it interesting every round. You don't know what to expect, and yeah, you just got to give your all. But I think being in a Williams and Aston Martin, the majority of the times is not fun. I can tell you that. But yeah, it's been a constant push to the end. Sometimes it doesn't go your way, and sometimes it just does. And to finish P2 with Nitro tonight is an absolute dream. Of course, P1 would want to be on the table, but you know, we'll take P2 100%.
Well, it was definitely a hard-fought effort, but congratulations to the both of you all the same. And Malc, I can't believe I'm saying this, that concludes the season for the Invictus
Yes.
Racing League.
And I tell you what, I'm putting that book down, not doing any more calculations again until next season, whatever happens. But can I just say, massive congratulations to Ginger Tiger, massive congratulations to Russman and Smoke for their constructors. Russman unlucky for the drivers. All he needed was one more position, and he would have won it by 1 point. That would have been insane. Or Ginger Tiger to lose a position, but that never happened at that stage.
Thanks.
And no worries, mate. Being honest on that one in the stream. But yeah, this season I will say it's been. Yes, there's been some questionable driving. Yes, there's been some questionable, unbelievable moments, shall we say? But overall, we've had some 2 in the beds, 3 in the bed moments, and yeah, great battling all along the way. Hopefully next season we'll see some more action along the way. But can I just say a massive, massive thank you to yourself, Tim, for doing the comms with me as always in the Performance League as always. Absolute privilege. Thank you to all the drivers, and thank you to all the staff. Without the staff, without the drivers, there'll be no Invictus Racing League. And can I just personally say thank you to Craig, who's stepping down from director after this season. So massive massive work that he has done, and with the team as well. Personally, I just want to say thank you to Craig, and I wish Delange all the very best because he's the new director after the new year. So yeah, cheers for that, guys. An absolute privilege as always, and I can't believe it's the last race of the season.
Yeah, and I want to say a personal thank you to Craig as well. Of course, he has been in the Invictus Racing League longer than I have, and Malc, you and I, we have worked together for 3.5 years at this point, almost 4. And when I first joined Invictus, I had no commentating experience whatsoever, and if I remember correctly, my very first race was actually at Canada that I commentated on. I'm not sure if it was the F1 League or the Performance League, but that was in around March or April of 2019. And, you know, he allowed me to join this league and commentate despite having 0 experience and never even streaming before. And it's been an incredible journey, and we just hope that for Craig, that whatever he does after Invictus Racing League, that he's happy, and I'm sure that he would be welcome back anytime if he should decide to come back. But thank you, Craig, for helping me, because that really was a huge assistance in me finding a confidence I didn't realize I had. And with that,
Tim, you forgot to mention Smoke for the interview quickly as well.
Is he even in here? Oh, Smoke, we got to talk to you, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, so Smoke, I thought you were in bed. I thought you had work tomorrow.
I've been here the whole time.
Okay, well, you're quiet. Okay, so Smoke, we got an interview for you real quick here. I know that pretty much your championship was done after the sprint, and that has got to be gutting, and it looked as though you were just trying to assist Russman there toward the end, ultimately to no avail. But how bittersweet is it knowing that not only you but your teammate lost the championship, but you also won the constructors seemingly a long time ago?
Well, when it comes to the constructors, I knew, it sounds really big-headed, but I knew me and Russ, we could do that. With his consistency and my one race wonders, I knew we could probably do it. But in terms of the Drivers' Championship for myself, I've counted myself out from about 2-3 races ago. I just didn't think it was going to be even on the cards. After the sprint incident, I know I was definitely out of it, and it was just a case of, right, focus on Russ, trying to get him to get the title. So I fought my way up to Ginger, and then basically just tried to put him under pressure. And then he made the mistake out of turn 3, and then it was a case of just play it by ear, and then just try and do maths, keep an eye on Ginger where he was, just focus on that, take some pressure away from Russ if I could, but it is what it is, it happens. Congrats to Ginger. Unlucky for Russman, but I'm sure he'll be back next season even better and fighting harder.
Yeah, and even you possibly joining the PC side of things from what I hear, so we wish you the best of luck on that as well, and, well, congratulations at least on the constructors and a decent finish in Canada. I know, I hear you are just as gutted as Russ, man, and so I know it's not going to make you feel any better, but it's still been one hell of a season to watch.
Yeah, thank you.
And Malc.
No more now. I promise you that. No more now.
Well,
now.
actually, there is another interview, Malc. Malc, how was the race for you today?
For me, more calculations in my head than anything else with the races itself. But overall,
nah, I'm messing with you.
Oh, you try and wind me up now, aren't you? That's why I love the banters as well. But yeah, absolute legend as always, Tim.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that to me again. I'll get you with that. All right.
And with that, we promise this time it is all that we have time for. So, once again, thank you to everyone who raced with us. Thank you to everyone who watched. Congratulations to our top 3 finishers. Congratulations to our constructor winners. Congratulations to our driver, champion of Ginger Tiger. And, of course, goodbye to Craig as he is stepping down as the director of the Invictus Racing League. We wish him the best on whatever he does. This has been the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League, brought to you in partnership with GridFinder.com. And until next time, have fun and goodbye.
See you later, guys.